So when we talk about protection, what do we mean? And do we need protection? It's quite a thing to actually think that we may or may not need it. And in terms of yoga, it really is to do with the state of our mind. So the philosophy of yoga says that yoga happens when the mind, I'm doing a very, very rough translation, when the fluctuations of the mind become quiet. But as the mind begins to quieten, we want to kind of be taking in the light and raising our consciousness, raising our vibration, as it were. I mean, these are just kind of terms or language that I'm using. But when we chant, I mean, it's said that when we chant, we actually can change structure and change matter. And I've certainly noticed from my own teacher, who's Kaustubh Desikachar, that when he gives me different mantras to chant, that is probably the major part of my own practice. And that's what's had the most fundamental difference for me. Now, usually it's better if we work one-to-one with a teacher and they give us a particular chant, which is how I work with my teacher. But obviously we're working in a group here and we can use a chant such as the one we're going to be using today. And a chant that we're using today is called a kavacham. So a kavacham is said to give a kind of protective mantle to us. I'm going to put it in the chat box if you just want to have a look at how we spell it. So kava, that's a kavacham, meaning a protective mantra. And this one is mum, and it's pronounced mum pa he. And there's a lot of aspirant with the E. And this just helps to it helps to put a protection around us, if you like. But I mean, there's other things we're going to be doing in the practice that will help that anyway. So with that in mind, if you like to come into a comfortable sitting position, and if you need to lie instead, if you're not ready to sit, that's fine. It's just that we're going to be doing some of our breathing practices, our breath work from sitting, and it is more effective if we can sit at the beginning. Just two things before we start. Remember that everything is a choice. So if I ask you to do something and you find it too difficult, particularly if it's movement and you've got ME or long COVID or other health challenges, then please rest out. So everything I say is a suggestion. It's not an instruction, because this session is all about you learning to have self-reliance and self-agency. So you're beginning to listen more to your instinct and your heart, rather than just from what I am saying, or anyone else for that matter. And the other thing is, you don't need to keep looking at your screen. I'm very aware that we look too much at screens and they're tiring. So if you want to turn the camera off or just listen to my voice, that's absolutely fine. So from however your position is, sitting or lying, just make yourself comfortable. But if you're sitting, think about being comfortably upright. So it's a sense of alertness in your posture, but you're not tense. So just to help with that, we can think about creating space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. And then just gently roll the shoulders to release the upper body a little. Because if we are running a chronic stress pattern, which so many of us are, our neck and our shoulders tighten. And in order to breathe properly, we just need to release this top part of the body so we can direct the breath further down from the diaphragm. Close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, you can leave them open, of course, remembering everything is a choice. And then take a moment or two to welcome yourself. So really feel that you are coming into your body, and take a moment or two to explore, asking the question, how am I? So it's almost like you're greeting yourself. Now, if at any time you're not comfortable being in your body, think of a safe resource that you can use. So it might be an idea of a pet or a loved one, or it might be something physical like the softness of your hands. It might be your breath. So anytime your body doesn't feel comfortable, you can just bring yourself back to your safe resource. So just observing now the mind, the physical body, the emotions. And then this is the bit that's, for some of us, we might find a little bit challenging, but I'm just going to ask you to allow everything to be as it is. So that means we're not resisting our current experience. So even if there's fatigue or pain or brain fog, just see if you can allow it to be as it is in this moment rather than trying to push against it. So you're using your body like a portal to come into this present moment. And now if it's okay for you, become aware of your breath. If you're not okay following the breath, bring your awareness to your safe resource. And then if you are able to, see if you can begin to slow the breath down. And we are going to think about working with breath and movement to begin with. So on your next inhale, I'm going to work with the hands. Take the hands out. We think this is actually called fabric breathing. So you're going to stretch out the palms and the fingers. Look at the screen if you're not sure. That's on the in-breath. And then as you exhale, soften the palms like petals softening back into the palms as the fingers curl over. So inhale, stretch open the hands and the fingers. And then exhale to soften the palms, curling the fingers back in. So just take a few breaths like this. So we're combining movement with the breath. And then we're going to introduce the chant as the fingers curl back towards the palms. If you need to look at the screen, please do so just as I demonstrate this. So I breathe in. Ma, pa, he. Remembering the aspirant of the H. And then inhale, opening the palms, stretching out the fingers. Ma, pa, he. Just try that a few times in your own breathing rhythm, which is probably different from mine. And if you don't want to chant, just continue with the breath. Anytime you want to, drop the hands to the knees. And then when you're ready, drop your hands to your knees. If you can, try to breathe through your nose. If that's too much at the moment, that's fine. And then we're going to remind ourselves of the direction of the breath. So take the left hand to the heart, the right hand just above the belly button. And we're going to direct the breath into the lower hand, the right hand. So the left hand is keeping the chest relatively still and the shoulders are quite still. And this is actually one after the class you might like to practice in front of a mirror, because in that way you can see whether the shoulders and the upper chest are moving too much or not. And if they are, that's fine. Always remember that there's no problem with anything, but we are aiming to breathe through the nose and from the diaphragm. And having the hand on the lower belly just helps us to remember where the diaphragm is. And if you're able to, and you would like a little extra help with the diaphragm, as you exhale, just take the navel to the spine. So you're slightly drawing in the abdominal muscles on the out breath. If that's too much for you, just do it once or twice or rest out. And now we're going to change our hand position. So take the hands and place them on the lower ribs, fingers facing forward, thumbs to the back. Again, look up at the screen if you need to. So as we inhale, the lower ribs slightly flare out into the hands. So it's almost like an outward movement. As we exhale, we can slightly push. Push is probably too strong a word. We encourage the ribs to come slightly back down. So inhaling, the ribs move out into the hands. Exhaling, relax everything. If you're not sure, look at me. I'm exaggerating the movement. Juliet, it's absolutely okay to sit with your legs out and pillow under your knees. Just the main thing is that you're comfortable. So there's no sense of having to do anything or sit in any particular position. So just thank you for that question. So drop your hands to your knees now. And take a moment or two just to tune in again. It's almost like you're taking the weather pattern. How am I? Just seeing if the very few breathing exercises we've done have begun to have an effect, maybe slightly calming the mind, maybe relaxing the body. And if that's not the case, that's fine too. So we're not judging anything, we're just exploring with curiosity. And then we're going to do our humming practice, because this is really good for elongating the exhalation, helping us to breathe more easily. And it's also very good for encouraging nitric oxide, which has all kinds of magical properties for the body. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and then exhale through pursed lips. Making that out breath as long as is comfortable for you. So don't force anything. So do that up to 5 times in your own breathing rhythm. Again, remembering this is something you can practice after the class during the week. And again, when you've finished, just tune in. So what we're doing between each breath practice, and it's the same when we start to move, we are stopping and observing, and just allowing everything to recalibrate. So we're also encouraging this sense of pacing. We do something, we stop, we rest, we recalibrate, we observe. We do something, we stop, we rest. So this is kind of pacing attitude that we want to take off the mat into our everyday being as well, our everyday living. So before we come down to line, we're going to do one more breath practice with the chant again. Again, this is optional. So we're going to garland ourselves. We're going to imagine that we're garlanding ourselves with light. So we're going to bring the palms together to the Namaste Mudra at the heart. And I'll just demonstrate if you do need to look up at the screen. So I'm going to breathe in and circle my arms around, imagining I'm drawing in light through that in-breath, circling myself with light. Then I'm going to chant the palms down to the heart. Mam pa hi. Breathing in, circling around so the hands come back together above the head, and then chanting Mam Pa He. So do that up to 5 times, 3 to 5 times in your own breathing rhythm. Don't get tired. If at any time you feel fatigued, please rest out. So work with kindness to yourself. If you need to rest, please do so. And if you are already lying, then you can visualize doing this. Or you could just take your hands to your heart and chant. And then next time the hands come to the heart, just pause there for a moment or two. And then we're going to reverse that movement twice. When you're ready, palms together. So this time we're making a longer exhalation. So we breathe in to lift the hands up and then chant them back together. Ma Pa He. So do that 2 or 3 times. If your breath is ragged or you need to make the movement faster, just make the movement and the breath coordinate together. Your breathing rhythm, your pitch may be different from mine. And then just take the hands to the heart, one hand on top of the other. Welcome yourself with the eyes closed if that's comfortable. Again, tune in and see if you can drop into a natural pause after the exhalation, where there is stillness before the in-breath naturally arises. Just see if you can find that still point. And then when you're ready, please come down to lying. Now, if you need to remain sitting, particularly if you've got breathing problems, that's fine. You also have the option of lying on your front. So I know for some of you, particularly if you've got long COVID, you find that easier. And of course, it's fine to be moving from a bed or from a sofa. And you can even lie on your side. And please do use pillows or whatever makes you comfortable. So I usually suggest that you start if you're on your back, and I'm going to direct you as if you are on your back. So if you're not, you can just modify. So I usually suggest you have something under your head. I'm using a rolled up shawl, but you can use the pillow or a cushion, and that you start with the knees bent, because that just helps to support the back. You can stretch out the legs later. Now, I like to just adjust my pillow because I've got quite a short neck. That helps to relax the neck and take the chin slightly down towards the top of the chest. So if your knees are hip width apart with your knees bent, you might like to just bring the knees together because that's a little bit more restful. And then take the arms a comfortable distance away from the body with the palms turned up. Now, if that's not comfortable for your shoulders, you can turn the palms down. And if you feel more comforted by having the hands on the belly, that's also fine. I know when I was recovering, I practiced for ages with my palms on my belly because I just found that of comfort. So just take a moment or two to experiment with how works best for you to lie down if you are lying. And because you've transitioned, just calm into your body. Close the eyes if that's comfortable. And then very gently and as slowly as you can, roll the head from side to side. So we're moving the head slowly because that just helps to bring us into the parasympathetic system. That means that we're regulating the nervous system, coming out of any stress response. And these slow movements just help us to do that. We're just reminding the body that it can slow down, we can begin to breathe more slowly, that we're okay. And that we're fine just as we are right here in this moment. And then send to your head. You might like to just roll your shoulders against the floor. And then feel the sensation of the floor or whatever you are sitting or lying on supporting you. Feel that you can release down into that support. So just observe where you are touching and where there are spaces. And feel on every exhalation, you are releasing a little bit further down, more into the support. You're relaxing down through those points of connection. Particularly releasing through the back, the shoulders, the hips. And if you're on your back, you can leave your knees bent, or if you want to begin to stretch out your legs, you can, if that's more comfortable for you. So again, just be curious, exploring what feels right and comfortable. And again, bring your awareness to your breath. Take one hand to the heart, the other to the belly. Just breathing into the hand that's on the belly. If you can, you're breathing through the nose from the diaphragm. If that's not happening for you yet, that's fine too. This is just something we're building up to slowly, week by week in our yoga practice, or even better, day by day, if you can practice this just before you go to sleep and when you wake up in the morning. It will come. The slower we breathe, the more we put our central nervous system back into regulation. And that's when the magic happens. That's when we begin to relax and our energy begins to come back. And then we're going to take our hands first to our belly, then to our heart, then to our eyes. We're going to chant 3 times to each of those points. So those of you that are yogis, we can talk about this as being Manipura chakra at the belly, Anahata chakra at the heart, and Ajna chakra at the third eye. And if you don't want to think of those terms, just think of them as the physical points. So first to the belly, we're going to inhale and chant Mam Pa Hi. If you don't want to chant, just take 3 breaths. So 3 breaths here, 3 breaths to the heart, 3 to the eyes, and then relax the arms beside the body just so I can check and see when you've finished. So think of inhaling in light and protection on the in-breath. And then think of the exhalation, the chant building this lovely veil around you of light and healing. And then I'd like you to visualize that you're inhaling up the right arm, directing light into your heart center on the in-breath. And you're breathing out through the left arm, and the out-breath is taking away anything you no longer wish to hold on to. So inhale up the right arm, directing light into the heart. Exhale down the left arm. The left arm, that breath, that exhalation is taking away, releasing anything you want to let go of. And then come back to normal breathing. And if you have any parts of your physical body, or it might be your mind, your emotions, if it's your emotions, bring your hands to your heart. If it's your mind, you can bring your hands to your head. If you have any area that you feel is in need of healing today, just take your hands there, if that's comfortable for you. And as you breathe in, just focus on breathing in light and healing into that area. As you breathe out, allow yourself to let go. Come back to your relaxation posture. If your legs are out straight, bring them together, but it's okay to work with the knees bent. We're going to start to do a little bit of movement with the chant. Again, remember the chant is optional. So we're going to bring the palms up towards, or stretch the fingers up towards the ceiling, move the fingers up towards the ceiling. Palms are facing each other. If you need to look at the screen, please do so if you're not sure. I'm going to breathe in. Then I'm going to open the arms wide like a cross as I do the optional chant. Mam pa he. The end of the chant, the back of the hands come to the floor. I breathe in, and then I chant the palms back towards each other. Mam pa he. Breathe in. Mam pa he. End of the chant, back of the hands come to the floor. Breathe in. Mam pa he. Take that once or twice more in your own breathing rhythm, remembering you don't need to chant unless you want to. Resting out when you're ready. So keep this sense of always listening to your body, being kind to yourself, so that you're not pushing yourself. We are working with kindness and compassion to self. We're working by pacing. We're working by listening into yourself rather than to me. What I'm saying is just a suggestion. And then we're going to continue with the idea of moving with the chant. So it's like a moving meditation. So the breath, the chant, and the movement are all as one. Body, mind, breath together. So again, come to a comfortable lying position. And if you're on your back, have your palms down beside you. We're going to breathe in and lift the arms up behind us. Now, if the back of the hands don't come all the way to the floor, that's fine. You might like to put a cushion there or just take them to wherever is comfortable. We're going to chant the palms back beside the hips. Mam Pahi. Breath in, opening up the front of the body, feeling the rib cage open. So the diaphragm has this lovely freedom to move. And then on the exhale, Mam Pahi. End of the chant, palms come back beside the hips. So just take that 2 or 3 times in your own breathing rhythm, resting out whenever you need to. And if you'd rather just visualize it and not do the movement, that's fine too. And then again, rest out when you're ready. If you're on your back, you might like to turn your palms up to the ceiling and part the legs. Again, just check in. How am I? How's my body, my breath? Can I allow everything to be as it is? Just enjoying the stillness and the sense of rest that the movement has given the body as we've finished. And again, allow yourself just to become still, observing that still point after the exhalation. If you're okay following the breath, just check in. How is my breathing now? Without judgments, with compassion, with kindness to however you are right now. And also knowing that you're not alone, but you are in a very supportive community here of like-minded people. And then when you're ready, we're going to hug the knees into the chest. You can just rock out from side to side. And then if it's okay for you, you can just shake out your legs and your arms. Look up if you're not sure. And then draw the knees back to the belly. Have one hand on each knee, or if that's not comfortable, you can hold under the knees. We're just going to do some hip rotations just to open up the hip joints and also just to give the lower back a massage. So we're going to work with the breath if we can. If you can't work with the breath, that's fine too. So we're going to breathe in and gently push the knees away from us, straightening the elbows, then opening the knees as wide as is comfortable. As we exhale, we draw the knees in towards us and bring them together. Inhaling, pushing the knees away and opening them wide. Exhaling, drawing the knees in and bringing them together. Now, if you find that hard to coordinate the movement and the breath, don't worry. Just do what is right for you. And then bring your awareness to your lower back. And just observe that really lovely massage in the base of the spine. And observe as the knees move and circle, the pressure changes. Sometimes it's lower in the spine and then it comes up towards the mid-spine. So keep your awareness there. Remember, you can rest out at any time you need to. And then we're going to reverse that movement. So take your circle in the other direction And if you can, you're inhaling as the knees move away from you, and exhaling as the knees move in towards you. And remember that although these movements are very gentle, in yoga we have a saying that the subtle is much more powerful. And then just rest for a moment or two with the knees over the belly. You can keep the hands on the knees or drop them beside you, whatever feels more comfortable. Now, if you need to rest out for the next one, please do so. So really honor your energy levels. Otherwise, drop the hands beside the hips. Become aware of the right leg. Breathing in, lift the right leg. Exhaling, lower. Breathing in, lift the left leg. Exhale and lower. And if that's enough for you, rest out. Now you have a choice. You can do this more gently by keeping the foot and the back of the knee soft, or you can make that more dynamic by flexing the foot and opening the back of the knee. So you really listening to how you want to move this morning, resting out at any time. Remembering we all have different energy levels. It's incredibly important that you honor your energy and do less than you think you can, resting out when you need to. And then when you're ready, just pause with the knees over the belly. Take some resting recovery breaths. And then we're going to introduce the chant. So take one hand to each knee. Inhaling gently, drawing the knees away from you. And then we're going to chant the knees into the belly if that's comfortable. Ma, pa, he. Breathing in. The knees move softly away from you as the elbows straighten. Ma, pa, he. If that's enough for you, rest out. Otherwise, take that movement 2 or 3 times more. And then when you finish, please rest out in any way that's comfortable for you. So take this time to be in your body. Just observe how your back is. And see if you can make that observation without judgment, with compassion. How is my back? See where it's touching the support, where there are spaces. See if you can allow the back to let go further and further on every exhalation. And just observe the effect the practice has had so far on the whole being, body, energy and breath, the mind, the emotions. Again, with that sense of compassion. And then when you're ready, please roll to one side. Stay there for a moment or two. And then we're going to do a little bit of work in the cat. Now, if you need to work from a chair, that's fine. Otherwise, just come into a tabletop position. So your hands are under your shoulders, knees are under your hips, fingers are spread. And take a moment or two in this position just to think about creating space between the crown of the head and the tailbone. Just gently take the weight slightly back over the hips so you're not putting too much weight on the wrists. And I'll show you, if you're on a chair and you need to look up at the camera, we can do most of the movements from a chair. So in other words, I would lift my chest and then round my back. So you can work from a chair if you prefer. I know for some people, if they've got sore knees, this is preferable. The other thing is that you can modify. You can place a rolled up towel under your knees if that's easier for you, if your knees are sore. So we're just going to work with the breath or move with the breath. So we're going to breathe in, lift the heart, and then exhale, navel to spine as we round the spine and drop the head. Inhaling, lift the heart, drop the belly slightly towards the floor. Exhaling, navel to spine as we round the spine. So just moving softly and slowly with the breath, feeling that kind of wave-like motion of the spine. And then coming back to neutral cat, we're going to do the chant now with a movement. Again, this is optional. And if you're on a chair, I suggest you just do the chant. So if you need to look up at your screen, do so. I'm going to breathe in and lift my heart as we did before. And on the out breath, I'm going to chant my bottom towards my heels, dropping my head. Ma, pa, he. Breathing in, moving forward again, lifting the heart. Ma, pa, he. So just take a few movements like that in your own breathing rhythm. And when you need to, we're going to rest out by lying on our fronts. So come to lying on your front when you're ready, using any padding that you need to. So when you come to rest on your front, and again, it's optional. If you're not comfortable on your front, you can lie on your side or your back. You can put padding under your forehead, or you can rest the forehead on the backs of the hands, one palm on top of the other, or you can take the cheek to one side, resting the arms beside the body with the palms up. And then if the neck gets stiff, you just take the cheek in the opposite direction. So again, as we did on the back, just experiment with how you like to lie. And if you like to lie on cushions to prop up your front, please do so, because that can give more space for the diaphragm. So just take a moment or two to transition. But one really, I mean, there's lots of things we do in yoga from this prone position, but it's particularly good for our breathing practice. And particularly if you've got long COVID, during the pandemic, hospitals were actually using this position to help people with their breathing. So in yoga, we've learned quite a bit from how hospitals are working, and they equally have learned from us. So some of the breath work we'll be doing now is kind of this lovely exchange of science and yoga. So from your prone position, if that's comfortable for you. Just start there, again, being aware of the breath, and have the sensation that you're breathing into your back. Because remembering, lungs go around the back, you've got your back ribs, so you've got this huge expanse here that you can breathe into. So just focus on breathing through the nose into your back. Again, only if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, just breathe in a way that works for you. And I see a couple of you are more comfortable to remain seated, so that's absolutely fine too. But again, you're just directing, even if you're seated, just direct your breath into your back. It's kind of like you're visualizing, you're focusing on your back. And then from lying, if you are lying, as you breathe in, just have the focus of the belly on the inhale, just slightly pressing, a little bit of pressure against your support or the floor. And as you breathe out, that pressure releases. So as you breathe in, feel the belly softening and pressing against the floor slightly. As you breathe out, that pressure releases. So just take a few breaths like that in your own breathing rhythm. And then we're going to do a little bit of optional movement from this prone position. If you're sitting, you can just visualize it. So just take the chin to your mat, have the arms down beside you with the palms turned up. And we're just going to very gently breathe in and lift up our heart, drawing the fingers towards the heels. Keep the back of the neck long, chin tucked in. Breathe out, come back. If that's enough for you, rest out. What we're doing here is working on the lower back muscles to strengthen the back and our posture muscles. Breathe in, draw the fingers towards the heels, back of the neck long, belly still on the mat. Breathe out, come down. You just do 2 or 3 of those, that's enough, just to engage the back muscles. And then rest. Make yourself comfortable. And again, just bring your awareness into your physical body. Observe how you are now. Observing the breathing, the emotions, the mind. Just allowing everything to be as it is. And just beginning to find that quietness of your true nature, the real you that resides under the chatter of the mind. The real you that's always there, spacious, ever present, supporting you through whatever is happening, through the changing thoughts, emotions, and circumstances. You remain there. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down now into our final relaxation posture. If you want to come onto your back or onto a bed or a sofa, please do so. Please use any padding, cushions you need, maybe some cushion under your feet as well as your head, maybe blankets. And you can use an eye mask if you like, or something that modifies as an eye mask. And Just going to talk us through a relaxation. So I'm going to turn my camera off for this. I'll turn it back on at the end. So I'll give you a moment or two just to get comfortable. So just settle the shoulders, your back, your hips and legs. And if your legs are out straight, have a comfortable space between your legs, allowing the feet to fall out to the side. Allow your arms to move away from the body. And if you're on your back, have the backs of your hands on your floor, the fingers gently curling. And just adjust your body and coverings if you need to, until you're comfortable, and have the eyes closed. Now tune into the furthest sounds you can hear outside of your room or your space, the furthest sound you can hear. And tune into that sound with full awareness. Become aware of any sounds you can hear inside your space. Be aware of any smells or tastes, and the sense of your coverings on your body, and the sense of your skin as a safe container. Just be aware of the sensation and awareness of the friendship of us all practicing here in this virtual space. Sense of friendship and well-being and love for ourselves and for each other. Become aware of the skin on the soles of your feet. Experience the soles of your feet. As I name each part of your body, repeat that part mentally to yourself with awareness, and then move on to the next part. Become aware of your right hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of the chest, waist, hip, thigh, knee, back of the knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now to the left side, left hand thumb, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, fifth finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of the chest, waist, hip, thigh, knee, back of the knee, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole, top of the foot, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now to the back, right buttock, left buttock, right waist, left waist, right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, whole spine, back of the neck, back of the head. Now to the front, top of the head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, the eyebrow center, right eyelid, left eyelid, right eye, left eye, right cheek, left cheek, right ear, left ear, right nostril, left nostril, tip of the nose, upper lip, lower lip, two lips together, chin, throat, right collarbone, left collarbone, right chest, left chest, abdomen, navel, lower abdomen, groin, the whole of the right leg, the whole of the left leg, both legs together, the whole right arm, the whole left arm, both arms together, the whole of the front of the body, the whole of the back of the body, the whole head, the whole body. Be aware of the whole body, relaxed and safe on your support. Just visualize now that you are surrounded with a circle of your loved ones. So you can bring into your circle anyone that makes you feel secure. This might be relations or friends or pets, teachers, gurus. Just visualize this circle around you, sending you well-wishing, love and support for your healing and wellness. The invitation now is to remain lying or relaxed. But if you would like to carry on with your day, just begin to gently move your fingers and your toes. Or make any movement with your body that begins to bring you back into your body, into your space. So just taking time to move and stretch. And then when you're ready, rolling to one side, staying there for a moment or two. And then coming up to a seated position. So if you need to just wake up a little more, just take your time, look around your space, look at the corners of your room, looking at any furniture, rubbing your hands together, shaking out your hands. You might even want to clap your hands. You can palm your eyes if you like. Move your body a little. Just really feeling yourself coming back into your body, feeling fully present. And then to close the session, we're going to chant our protective mantra to our heart. So take your right hand and place it on the heart, the other hand on top. And we'll do this as call and response. So I'll chant to my heart, and then you chant to your hearts. We'll do it 3 times. So close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. Drop your awareness into your heart, dropping light into the heart. You inhale as I chant. Ma pa hi. Ma pa hi. Ma pa hi. And when you finish, you can either keep your hands on your heart or drop them to the knees. Just taking a moment or two to observe how you are and the effect of the practice on the whole of the being, mind, body, and spirit. And then when you're ready, open your eyes, bring the hands to the Namaste Mudra, meaning the divine in me greets the divine that's in you. Just bowing to your heart, Namaste. Thank you all very, very much. Just going to stop the recording, which I actually can't find. So